and say welcome to another version of Sharps in Isolation. We have loads of singers already. You know the rules. If you don't know the rules, you'll work it out, or you'll read them in the email you got, or you can ask. But one thing that I did say next week, and I think I'm going to stick to from now on, is we will finish at 11. So and I hope we'll get everybody on, but if not, it's the luck of the draw. Yeah, hopefully, if we are a little bit disciplined about time, we'll be able to get most people on. So, without further ado, welcome back Margaret Steiner as our first singer of the evening. Margaret, you will be followed by Elizabeth Block, so please take us away and set the tone for the evening.
We got lots of people. I might just not need to do it.
Okay.
Let's see.
Okay.
Are you there, Margaret Steiner?
Yeah, she needs to unmute herself.
Says Laura.
Marge, unmute yourself.
Trying. What? I thought. Hang on a minute. Just a minute. It says audio now unmuted.
That's
You
what
are
want.
unmuted.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear now.
Okay, good. Well, I'm going to sing. I don't know to what degree it sets the tone or not. We've had a spirited discussion when I was doing TradMad camp on the Knickerbocker line. So this is a silly Catskills version. And I don't remember if I sang it here or not, but oh, I sent my love a letter and I sealed it with a wafer. Didn't seal it with sealing wax for fear it wouldn't go safer. Didn't send it through the mail for fear it wouldn't go on time. So I touched to the telegraph of the Knickerbocker line with the rig, jig, a rig, jig, jig. Come skin 'em a do, a honey-do, and buy away me do. Do you go away, my honey-do, and never do come back? It's a weary road to travel, and the car jumped the track. As I was walking down the street the other afternoon, it's there I saw the prettiest girl in a lager beer saloon. Oh, she was the prettiest girl that you have ever seen, and she took the humper bumper from the Jersey cow machine with the rig, jig, a rig, jig, jig. Come skin 'em a do, a honey-do, and buy away me do. Do you go away, my honey-do, and never do come back? It's a weary road to travel, and the car jumped the track. Oh, my gal, she is a tailor, tailor she is betrayed. Many a pair of pantaloons by my request she's made. She's begin them in the morning, finishes them by 9. She's a regular, don't you push me on the Knickerbocker line with the rig, jig, a rig, jig, jig. Come skin 'em a do, a honey-do, and buy away me do. Do you go away, my honey-do, and never do come back? It's a weary road to travel, and the car jumped the track. Oh, if you want to see my gal, you'd better go down Broadway, 'cause she parades the Bowery from 8 to 10 each day. And if anyone should see her a little before her time, she's a regular skip the gutter for the Knickerbocker line with a rig, jig, a rig, jig, jig. Come skin 'em a do, a honey-do, and buy away me do. Do you go away, my honey-do, and never do come back? It's a weary road to travel, and the car jumped the track. And that's all.
Follow that. Well done, beautiful.
Yeah, thank you, Margaret. That was
different.
I thought we were moving away from knickers and that kind of thing, but no, back onto them. So anyway, Elizabeth, it's you next, and then it's Anne Gregson.
I'm very glad this is being recorded.
You need to unmute again, Elizabeth.
This is a song my father wrote when he was in the Army during World War II. He was in the entomology corps, and I'm not making this up. I may be the only person still alive who knows this song, and I really want to get it out on YouTube. Every time I go to the movies and Brooklyn is mentioned, they hiss. Just one time I go to the movies, I'm gonna surprise 'em with this. Brooklyn is a wonderful place. The whole human race is just dying to get out to Brooklyn. What a wonderful place. I wish I was back there again. Someone wrote, "A tree grows in Brooklyn." The author of that volume lied. Once they tried to grow trees in Brooklyn, but the trees got disgusted and died. The dialect is noble and cultured. Perfection is in every word. I burl when certain persons deny it, 'cause that kind of talk is absurd. Brooklyn is a wonderful place. The whole human race is just dying to get back to Brooklyn. What a wonderful place. I wish I was back there again.
Oh, that is brilliant.
Song.
Of Brooklyn.
In Nassau County,
Yeah, more verses.
there gotta be more voices.
Indeed.
Amazing, another Brooklyn song. We had a week when there were lots of Brooklyn songs. There are even more. Thank you. So that was Elizabeth. It's Anne, Gregson, and then we welcome back after great travail, Riggy Rackin.
Well, I've got Chris Timson here with me, so I've persuaded him to sing along. We're going to sing something that starts with a chorus, so you've got plenty of time to learn it. It's called All in Harmony. So make up some harmonies. Right. From all the mountains will come the melody, and from the valleys pour forth the song. All creation will lift their voices from the lands and waters, all in harmony, when all the lands are like a garden, and every forest grows unharmed, when every river shines as clear as crystal, then our song can flourish, all in harmony. From all the mountains will come the melody, and from the valleys pour forth the song. All creation will lift their voices from the lands and waters, all in harmony, when all the leaders of all the nations unite to answer the call, to protect the earth and all its creatures, then our song can flourish, all in harmony. From all the mountains will come the melody, and from the valleys pour forth the song. All creation will lift their voices from the lands and waters, all in harmony. Go teach the children a different story, not to praise those heroes of war, not to strive for a nation's glory, but for peace and fellowship, all in harmony. From all the mountains will come the melody, and from the valleys pour forth the song. All creation will lift their voices from the lands and waters, all in harmony. When every country gives up its boundaries, and all the soldiers lay down their arms, when all the nations have joined together, then our song can flourish, all in harmony. From all the mountains will come the melody, and from the valleys pour forth the song. All creation will lift their voices from the lands and waters, all in harmony. All creation will lift their voices from the lands and waters, all in harmony.
Yes.
Lovely.
Beautiful.
How fantastic to hear harmonies coming through the screen. So seldom. Ah, lovely.
What a joy.
Okay, so yeah, that was Anne and Chris. Thank you. And now, welcome back, Riggy, who has been with us every week, apart from last week, which was pretty dramatic. So anyway, over to you, Riggy, and after Riggy, it will be Sarah Pavey.
Oh, well, let me get my key. Oh, will you go with me, sweet Tibby Dunbar? Oh, will you go with me, sweet Tibby Dunbar? Will you ride on a horse or be drawn in a cart? You know, I'm going to do this and sing. Oh, will you go with me, sweet Tibby Dunbar? Oh, will you go with me, sweet Tibby Dunbar? Will you ride on a horse or be drawn in a cart, or walk by my side, sweet Tibby Dunbar? I care not your daddy, his lender is money. I care not your kin, so high and so lordly, but say you'll go with me for better or worse, and come in my coatie, sweet Tibby Dunbar. I offer you nothing in silver or land. What man can determine the price for your hand? But give your consent, you'll be richer by far, and say that you'll have me, sweet Tibby Dunbar. Oh, will you be known as a poor beggar's lady, sleep in the heather, wrapped up in my plaidy, the sky for your roof, your candle a star, my love for your fire, sweet Tibby Dunbar? Oh, will you go with me, sweet Tibby Dunbar? Oh, will you go with me, sweet Tibby Dunbar? Will you ride on a horse or be drawn in a cart, or walk by my side, sweet Tibby Dunbar? Robbie Burns.
Lovely.
Great to have you back, Riggy. Okay, so Sarah Pavey is up next, and after that it will be Tara.
I'm going to sing, well, it's the Irish version of Jock of Hazelgreen. It's Johnny of the Hazelgreen. And I'll get to sing a version that's done by Packie Byrne. So quite a good story. Nice happy ending. Good, isn't it? One night as I rode o'er the lea, with moonlight shining clear, I overheard a fair young maid lamenting for her dear. She did cry as I drew nigh, the better it might have been, for she was letting the tears roll down for Johnny of the Hazelgreen. What is your trouble, my lovely fair maid? or what caused you to roam? Is it your father or mother that's dead, or have you got no home? My parents, they are both alive and plainly to be seen, but I have lost my own true love. He's my Johnny of the Hazel Green. What kind of a boy is your Hazel Green? For he's one that I do not know. He must be a braw young lad, because you love him so. His arms are strong, his shoulders broad, he's comely to be seen, and his hair is rolled like chains of gold. He's my Johnny of the Hazel Green. Dry up your tears, my lovely fair maid, and come along with me. I'll have you wed, my only son. I never had one but he. Then you might be a bride, I said, to any lord or king. But I'd rather be a bride, said she, to my Johnny of the Hazel Green. Well, she got on her milk-white steed, and I got on my bay, and we rode on that moonlit night and part of the next day. And when we came up to the gate, the bells began to ring, and who should step out but that noble knight they call Johnny of the Hazel Green. Oh, you're welcome home, dear father, he said. You're welcome home to me. You've brought me back that fair young maid I thought I'd ne'er again see. The smile upon her gentle face, as sweet as grass is green, and I hope she's enjoying her married life to Johnny of the Hazel Green.
Lovely.
Lovely.
It's lovely, Sarah.
It's a great tune to it.
Yes.
I never heard that beautiful tune before.
I think it's Packie Byrne. It's
Packie Byrne was a wonderful singer. I got to hear
great.
Oh, yeah.
A happy tune with a happy ending.
Happy
Yay! It makes a change.
I want Tibby near them tonight.
Okay, so Tara's next, singing in Brittany, and followed by Gwyneth and Tamsin.
Hi. Yeah, so after the success of the back to school song from Mrs. Walker last week, I thought that this time I'd do another one that we learned from her, although it's not one of her songs this time. It's a Flanders and Swann, but it's another one that's stuck in my brain ever since I was 9, so it's got to be worth something. So here we go. This is the Workman song. I can't remember what it's actually called. 'Twas on a Monday morning, the gas man came to call. The gas tap wouldn't turn, I wasn't getting gas at all. He tore out all the skirting boards to try and find the main, and I had to call the carpenter to put them back again. Oh, it all makes work for the working man to do. 'Twas on a Tuesday morning, the carpenter came round. He hammered and he chiselled and he said, look what I've found. Your joists are full of dry rot, but I'll put them all to rights. Then he nailed right through a cable, and out went all the lights. Oh, it all makes work for the working man to do. 'Twas on a Wednesday morning, the electrician came. He called me Mrs. Sanderson, which isn't quite my name. He couldn't reach the fuse box without standing on the bin, and his foot went through a window, so I called the glazer in. Oh, it all makes work for the working man to do. 'Twas on a Thursday morning, the glazer came along with his blowtorch and his putty and his merry glazer's song. He put another pane in, and it took no time at all, but I had to get the painter in to come and paint the wall. Oh, it all makes work for the working man to do. 'Twas on a Friday morning, the painter made a start. With undercoats and overcoats he painted every part, every nook and every cranny. But I found when he was gone that he'd painted over the gas tap and I couldn't turn it on. Oh, it all makes work for the working man to do. On Saturday and Sunday they do no work at all. So 'twas on a Monday morning that the gasman came to call. Sadly true.
Cometh.
Except that you would never be able to get them all the next day these days.
Can dream. I haven't even been able to get any. I've got a leaking tap, and I can't get anybody who actually wants to do a job that small.
Oh,
Oh boy, Flanders and Swann.
Yeah. Great, Sarah. Thank you. Next up, we have Gwyneth and Tamsin. I hope Tamsin. Yes, great, Tamsin. Glad to see you because you've tried a few entries and it hasn't quite worked out. So great that we'll have you now. In either order, whatever order you want to be in. And after Gwyneth and Tamsin, it will be David Jones.
Oh,
I'm going to do a song from the Chapel's Popular Music of Olden Times book, which rejoices in the title of A Young Gentleman's Frolic Through the City by Night. Give ear to a frolicsome ditty of one that a wager would lay to pass every watch in this city, and never a word would he say. But daldera daldara, but daldera daldara, but daldera daldara, but daldera daldara. Stand, stand, says the bellman. The constable now come before, and if a just story you tell, man, I'll light you home to your own door. This is a very late season, which surely no honest men keep, and therefore it is but just reason that you in the Comte should sleep. But daldera daldara, but daldera daldara, but daldera daldara, but daldera daldara. The constable on the next day, sir, this comical matter to clear, the gentleman hurried away, sir, before my Lord Mayor to appear. My lord, give ear to my story, which I with truth do relate. The gentleman standing before you was seized by me at Cripplegate. But daldera daldara, but daldera daldara, but daldera daldara, but daldera daldara. I nothing could hear but his singing, wherefore in the Comte he lay, and therefore this morning I bring him to hear what your lordship will say. Oh, then bespoke my lord's daughter, and for him did thus intercede. Your dear father, you'll hear that hereafter, this was but a wager indeed. But daldera daldara, but daldera daldara, but daldera daldara, but daldera daldara. Well, daughter, I grant your petition. The gentleman home may repair, but yet 'tis on this condition of paying my officers there. Thus seeing he might be released, if he his fees did but pay, he then was very well pleased, and so he went singing away. But daldera daldara, but daldera daldara, Ba-dal-da-ra-ra-ra-dal-dara, ba-dal-da-ra-ra-ra-dal-ra. Thanks.
Okay.
Great stuff.
Lovely stuff, Gwyneth. Now over to Tamsin.
Hello. This is Robin Hood and the Pedlar. It's of a pedlar bold that chanced to be. He put his pack all on his back and merrily trudged o'er the lea. By chance he met with two troublesome men that chanced to be, and one of them was bold Robin Hood, the other one was Little John so free. Oh, pedlar, pedlar, what is in thy pack? Come speedily and tell to me. I've several suits of the gay green cloth, and silken bowstrings 2 and 3. If you've several suits of the gay green cloth, and silken bowstrings 2 and 3, then by my body, said Little John, one half your packet shall belong to me. Oh no, cried the pedlar bold. Oh no, that ne'er could be. There's never a man in all Nottingham could take one half of my pack from me. The pedlar, he's pulled off his pack, put it a little below his knee, saying, if you do move me one perch from this, my pack and all it shall go with thee. Now Little John, he's drawn his sword, the pedlar by his pack did stand. They fought until they both did sweat, till he cried, pedlar, pray hold thy hand. Then Robin Hood, who was standing by, well, he did laugh most heartily. I could find a man of much smaller scale that could thrash the pedlar and also thee. Go try you, master, said Little John, and go you try right speedily, for by my body, said Little John, I swear this night you shall know me. So Robin Hood, he's drawn his sword, the pedlar by his pack did stand. They fought until the blood in streams did flow, till he cried, pedlar, pray hold thy hand. Oh, pedlar, pedlar, what is your name? Come speedily and tell to me. Oh, no, my name I ne'er could tell, until your names you both have told me. The one of us is bold Robin Hood, the other one's Little John so free. Then said the pedlar, it lays to my good will whether my name I choose to tell thee. I'm Gamble Gold of the gay green woods, travelled far beyond the sea, for killing a man in my father's land. From the country I was forced to flee. If you are Gamble Gold of the gay green wood, travelled far beyond the sea, you are my mother's own sister's son. What nearer cousins could we be? They sheathed their swords with friendly words, so merrily did they agree. They went to an alehouse and there they dined, and cracked bottles right merrily. Thanks. Sorry I messed up in the middle.
That was lovely, lovely, Tamsin. Yeah, smashing.
Very brief glitch. That was beautiful.
Yeah, no need to apologise. That was a well-sung ballad. Rollicking tune as well, rollicking tale. Good stuff. So, David Jones, it's up to you to follow that. And then, actually, Kate Porto, I'm not sure if you're singing this evening or not. Are you singing this evening, Kate?
Audio now muted.
I want to sing in the second half, if that's
Oh, in the second half, that's fine. In that case, could we have Caroline after David Jones?
Okay. I had planned on singing a song from the Labrador called The Rose in June, but the air conditioning system went on here and it's a tremendous distraction. And anyway, The Rose in June takes about 3 weeks to sing. So this is I think one of the best songs that's been written in recent times. I think it was written by David Steele. I've worked on farms and from the start, the muckle horses won my heart. With big broad backs they proudly stand, the uncrowned kings of all the land. But in spite of all their power and strength, they're as gentle as a summer's wind. So steady, boys, walk on. Our work is nearly done. No more we'll till and plough the fields. The horse's day is gone. And this shall be our last trip home. So steady, boys, walk on. I've heard men boast and sing the praise of Arab stallions in a race, of hunters that fly with the hounds to chase the fox and run him down. But of, excuse me, unfortunate. I've heard men boast and sing the praise of Arab stallions in a race, of hunters that fly with the hounds to chase the fox and run him down. But none of them compare, I vow, with a working pair that pulls the plough. So steady, boys, walk on. Our work is nearly done. No more we'll till and plough the fields. The horse's day is gone. And this shall be our last trip home. So steady, boys, walk on. Of all the farms I've plied my trade, of all the fields I've ploughed and laid, I never thought I'd see the time when a Clydesdale's work would ever end. But progress runs its driven course, and the tractor has replaced the horse. So steady, boys, walk on. Our work is nearly done. No more we'll till and plough the fields. The horse's day is gone. And this shall be our last trip home. So steady, boys, walk on. As we head back, our friends will line the road to see us one last time. There's none of them would want to miss the chance to see us pass like this. They'll say they saw in years to come the muckle horse's last trip home. So steady, boys, walk on. Our work is nearly done. No more we'll till and plough the fields. The horse's day is gone. And this shall be our last trip home. So steady, boys, walk on. Steady, boys, walk on. Steady, boys, walk on.
Love that song. Love it, love it.
Sorry, I screwed that up.
Lovely.
At one grape too many, and it went down the wrong way.
Great to have a bit of misery finally in the evening. Thank you, David.
Oh, the other one was much more miserable than that.
Yeah,
They all get drowned.
more deaths. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm glad you didn't sing that one.
So Caroline, who is this half's unmuter, is next, and she'll be followed by Richard Mellish, please.
So this song is not miserable at all. I'm singing it today because yesterday was the anniversary of the daring rescue as described in the song, which goes like this. 'Twas on a long stone lighthouse there lived an English maid, pure as the air around her, of danger ne'er afraid. One morning just at daybreak a storm-tossed wreck she spied, although to try seemed madness, I'll save the crew, she cried. And she pulled away the rolling sea, over the waters blue. Help, help, she could hear the cries of the shipwrecked crew. But Grace had an English heart, and the rolling stone she braved. She pulled away mid the dashing spray, and the crew she saved. They to a rock were clinging, a crew of 9 all told. Between them and the lighthouse the sea like mountains rolled. Said Grace, come help me, father, we'll launch the boat, said she. 'Tis madness, cried her father, to face that raging sea. And she pulled away o'er the rolling sea, over the waters blue. Help, help, she could hear the cries of the shipwrecked crew. But Grace had an English heart, and the raging storm she braved. She pulled away mid the dashing spray, and the crew she saved. One murmur prayed, have saved us, and then they were afloat. Between them and destruction, the planks of their brave boat. Then spake the maiden's father, turn back or doomed are we. Then up spake brave Grace darling, alone I'll face the sea. And she pulled away over the rolling sea, over the waters blue. Help, help, she could hear the cries of the shipwrecked crew. But Grace had an English heart, and the raging storm she braved. She pulled away mid the dashing spray, and the crew she saved. They rode the angry billows and reached the rock at length. They saved the shipwrecked sailors, in heaven alone their strength. So tell the whole world over what English pluck can do, and sing of brave Grace Darling, who nobly saved the crew. And she pulled away o'er the rolling sea, over the waters blue. Help, help, she could hear the cries of the shipwrecked crew. But Grace had an English heart, and the raging storm she braved. She pulled away mid the dashing spray, and the crew she saved. She pulled away mid the dashing spray, and the crew she saved. True story.
Lovely.
Another well-told story, Caroline. Thank you.
Couldn't be better.
Yeah, and I saw Kathy waving a tiny little flag there. Okay, Richard Mellish is next, and after Richard, we'll have David Kidman.
Staying with the sea, I think it might have been a couple of weeks ago, somebody sang "Open the Pane and Put Out the Flame" about the difficulty of knowing when to go fishing according to which way the wind's blowing. This is on the same subject from Bob Roberts. Out on the ocean dreary and cold, I lead the life of a fisherman bold. So swell me net full, swell me net full, mackerel for Monday, swell me net full. Wind from the northward, wind from the east, many a haul but never a feast. A swell me net full, swell me net full, sea trout for Tuesday, swell me net full. Wind from the southward, wind from the west, plenty of fish will come to your mesh. So swell me net full, swell me net full, we're fish for Wednesday, swell me net full. God is our master, the weather he wills, but 'tis with herring our bellies are filled. So swell me net full, swell me net full, herring for Thursday, swell me net full. Stay in the harbour and look o'er the foam, for Friday's the day that the devil doth own. So swell me net full, swell me net full, nothing for Friday, swell me net full. Work all the night and work all the day, we must not rest while there's fish in the bay. So swell me net full, swell me net full, sand dab for Saturday, swell me net full. When I do die and the life in me fails, build me a tombstone of herring-back scales, and swell me net full, swell me net full, soul is for Sunday, swell me net full. That's that one.
Awesome.
Thanks, Richard. Another one I've never heard. So,
No,
yeah.
nor have I don't think.
Coming. Okay. I've lost track with my list of people. So, who did I call next?
David Kidman.
It was David Kidman. Okay. Great. And then we'll have Martin Neal after David.
Too much jollity. No, I can't promise you anything depressing, but I can promise you something seasonal. And I've just noticed there's one person here that's heard me sing this one earlier in the week, so apologies to that person. Nothing like repeating myself, is there? Now when I was a young man courting the girls, I played me a waiting game. If a maid refused me with tossing curls, I'd let the old earth take a couple of whirls, while I plied her with tears in lieu of pearls. And as time came around, she came my way. As time came around, she came. Oh, it's a long, long while from May to December, but the days grow short when you reach September, when the autumn weather turns the leaves to flame. One hasn't got time for the waiting game, for the days dwindle down to a precious few. September, November, and these few precious days I'll spend with you. These precious days I'll spend with you. When you meet with the young girls early in the spring, you court them in song and in rhyme. They answer with words and the clover ring, but if you could examine the goods they bring, they have little to offer but the songs they sing, and a plentiful waste of time of day, a plentiful waste of time. For it's a long, long while from May to December, but the days grow short when you reach September, when the autumn weather turns the leaves to flame. One hasn't got time for the waiting game, for the days dwindle down to a precious few. September, November, and these few precious days I'll spend with you. These precious days I'll spend with you.
Yay.
Oh.
Sang
Well
that
sung,
in
Dave.
Who sang that in England?
Time to get the Christmas songs out next.
Oh, God.
Not
Yes.
before Guy Fawkes night.
No,
Not a dry eye in the house there, David.
no carols this year, I fear.
Oh yeah, that's the point.
Oh, God. Oh, I'd be able to go to the Royal and the Traveller's
there.
Rest and bagpipes.
Okay, so Martin Nail is next, and then could we have Wendy?
Right, yes, so I'm still undecided what I'm going to sing, so I better sing one of the things that I thought I might sing, but not all the others. I I listed in the army that's in uniform quite new, and if they'd let me have a drum, I'd be a drummer too, to rush into the battlefield with a broadsword in me hand, to hear the cannons rattle and the music play so grand, the music play so grand, the music play so grand, just to hear the cannons rattle and the music play so grand. Well, when I was a young girl at the age of 17, far from me parents ran away, all for to serve the Queen. Well, the officer enlisting me said I was a nice young man. Well, I think you'll make a drummer, so just step this way, young man. Yes, step this way, young man. Just step this way, young man. Well, I think you'll make a drummer, so just step this way, young man. Well, they sent me off to quarters, all for to make me bed, and lying at a soldier's side I never felt afraid. In pulling my red tunic off I often used to smile, to think I lay with 1,000 men and a maiden all the while. A maiden all the while, a maiden all the while. Yes, to think I lay with 1,000 men and a maiden all the while. Me waist being neat and slender, me fingers long and small, all for to play upon the drums I soon exceeded all. I played upon the kettle drums like other drummers did. Yes, I played upon the kettle drums, but still remained a maid. I still remained a maid. I still remained a maid. Yes, I played upon the kettle drums, but still remained a maid. Well, I was sent off to London to be sentry at the Tower, and there I might have been unto this very day and hour. But a young girl fell in love with me, she found I was a maid, and it's straightway to my officer my secret betrayed, my secret betrayed, my secret betrayed, and it's straightway for to my officer my secret betrayed. Well, the officer, he sent for me to know if it were true. Of such a thing I cannot and I won't believe of you. Then he looked me in the face and he smiled as he said, well, it's a pity we should lose you, such a drummer as you've made. A drummer as you've made, a drummer as you've made. Well, it's a pity we should lose you, such a drummer as you've made. It's fare ye well, my officer, you have been kind to me, and likewise, my dear comrades, I'm not forgetting thee. And if your army should be short for the want of any man, well, I'll put on me cap and feather, and I'll beat the drum again. I'll beat the drum again. I'll beat the drum again. Well, I'll put on me cap and feather, and I'll beat the drum again.
Woohoo!
you
Great
for
stuff,
joining us,
Stacey,
Chris.
Stacey with the drumsticks there, and thanks for demonstrating the need for equal opportunities legislation, Martin. So onwards now to Wendy, and after Wendy, could we have John White, please?
Okay, I have been singing very miserable songs, so this isn't quite so miserable, but it is a blues number. It's a Bessie Smith number. Honey, please don't cry. Listen to me. There's no reason why we shouldn't agree. If I hurt your feelings, I apologize. You're the only one I idolize. Don't cry, baby. Don't cry, baby. Dry your eyes. Let's be sweethearts again. You know I didn't mean to make you feel blue. Honest, I'll never do it again. Won't you forgive? Won't you forget? Do as I ask you to. You know you'll never regret if we just start anew. You know I'm sorry. Oh, so sorry. Don't cry, baby. There's no one but you. Won't you forgive? Won't you forget? Do as I ask you to. You know you'll never regret if we just start anew. You know I'm sorry, oh so sorry. Don't cry, baby, there's no one but you. Oh, don't cry, baby, there's no one but you.
Yeah. Dr. Leslie Smith.
Hey, well done, Wendy.
Thank you, Wendy.
Thanks indeed, Wendy. I'm sorry, but we didn't see you then until the very end. So I'm not sure what happened, but we certainly could hear you. So that was
A message about low bandwidth, didn't
enough
we,
for
Wendy?
us. Yeah.
Yeah, I think my internet keeps telling me that it's unstable, so maybe that's why.
Okay. Well, the sound came through very well, so we're thankful for that. Now over to John White, and after John it will be Pal. So John, I think we can unmute you this week.
Coming through okay?
Yes, you are. Yay!
Right. Well, here's a song from the London music halls, I suppose about 1890, a time when all the streets of London were full of horses, and many ordinary families had a horse which they looked on with pride and affection. So here's a lovely little song, Down the Road Away Went Polly. Since first I copped a tidy lump of slang, well, I've always had a decent little nag, and one that I shall sing about to you now was worth 1,000,000 jimmies in a bag. I raced against the best that could be found. 3 owners made a stake of £50. Well, that race was duly run, and I'll tell you how we won with brave Polly, my old pony, world renowned. Down the road, away went Polly, so jolly that I knew she'd win. Down the road, away. The bear was willing for the lightning spin. All the rest was licked and might as well have ne'er been born. Whoa, whoa, mare, you've earned your little bit of corn. Jack Jones the butcher said, the form's untrue. I'll tell you now just what I'm going to do. My cob shall race against your mare next Sunday, and 50 more bright sovereigns I will blue, if you prove she can beat in once again. I'll never more in this world touch a rein. Well, I knew he got no chance, but he insisted on the dance. So now I'll tell you how we slew the slain. Down the road away went Polly with a step so jolly that I knew she'd win. Down the road the pace was killing, but the mare was willing for a lightning spin. All the rest were licked and might as well have ne'er been born. Whoa, mare, you've earned your little bit of corn. But soon after this, she met her final goal. Well, I'd had that little wonder from a foal, and grief too keen to talk about was mine when poor Poll was carted off to fill a hole. Well, me family and me friends all came with me, the last of poor pet pony Poll to see, and the neighbours shared the grief that was felt beyond belief when they buried my old Polly, R.I.P. Down the road away went Polly, not a step was jolly, 'twould have seemed a sin. Down the road the pace was killing, but the dead mare willing for a final spin. Everybody looked so sad, and I felt so forlorn. Whoa, mare, you've earned your little bit of corn.
Thank you, John.
Yay.
Well done.
Great song. Splendid, John.
Lovely stuff, John. And yeah, the phantom unmuter will be revealed in the recording. Don't you worry. So, okay. Next we have Pal, and after Pal it will be Bev.
Okay, I don't think we've had enough misery tonight. I'm sure Clive will agree with me, and they don't get much more miserable than this. Cold blows the wind on my true love, soft falls the gentle rain. I never had but one true love, and in greenwood she lies slain. I'd lose much for my true love, as any young man may. I'll sit and I'll mourn all on her grave for 12 months and a day. When the 12-month and a day had passed, the ghost began to speak. Who is it that sits all on my grave and will not let me sleep? 'Tis I, your own true love that sits all on your grave. I ask one kiss from your sweet lips, and that is all I crave. My lips are cold as clay, my love. My breath is earthy strong. If you should kiss my clay cold lips, your time will not be long. Look down in yonder garden fair, love, where we used to walk. The fairest flower that ever there was has withered unto the stalk. The stalk has withered and dried, my love, so will our hearts decay. So make yourself content, my love, till death calls you away. Till death calls you away.
Lovely, pal.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
Well sung, pal.
Well sung.
You made a cracking job of that, pal.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Get
yes.
someone to cheer you up now.
Yes, well, it's going to have to be Bev, and if Bev doesn't do it, then it'll be Simon Prager.
I planned.
Are you there, Bev? I think you got muted again.
Yeah, I actually planned to do something more cheerful than that, as I was in a bit of a down mood, and because I wrote a very sad song this weekend, and I'm not going to sing that, but I will sing the one that I wrote last week. Some of you have heard, and it's just more cheerful, looking toward the future. They'll get the fingers in the right place, and it'll come out right. Next year, we're dreaming and waiting for next year. We're longing to hug all our friends, old and new, but we'll have to wait until next year. Next year we'll all be singing in one room. Not a mask among us, no longer on Zoom. Next year our ears will finally hear the sweetest sound of voices in harmony singing round and round. Next year, we're dreaming and waiting for next year. We're longing to hug all our friends, old and new, but we'll have to wait until next year. Next year we'll all be smiling so bright. Such amazing music we'll make through the night. Next year we'll be together, we'll dance and we'll sing. Our songs will raise the rafters and tears of joy they'll bring. Next year, we're dreaming and waiting for next year. We're longing to hug all our friends, old and new, but we'll have to wait until next year. Next year we will travel with no fear. We'll gather together with those we hold dear. Maybe things will change and we won't have to wait. A cure may come sooner and we can set a date. Next year, we're dreaming and waiting for next year. We're longing to hug all our friends old and new, but we'll have to wait until next year. Probably have to wait until next year. Maybe we won't wait until next year. It's so hard to wait for next year.
Great.
Thank you, Will. Cheered me up.
There's so many great COVID songs. Thanks for adding another one to the what's the word? The genre. Fantastic. Yeah.
It'll become part of the whole folklore at the end.
Yeah.
20
Yeah.
years from now, people will say, "Oh, all these songs were sung
Yeah.
then."
Yeah.
I think we're going to find that there are more songs written during this period than any other period in history.
I don't know about that, but it's certainly, there's certainly been a plethora.
Yeah.
We have a section at the Getaway weekend coming up on disease, pestilence, and plague. And I thought it was going to be, but all these joyous, wonderful, retroactive, and funny songs. It's going to be the highlight of the weekend, I think.
Great stuff. Okay, so Simon's our next singer, and then we will have Graham from Vancouver.
Okay, this is a Gary Davis song. Gary Davis was my hero, a blind reverend and a wonderful ragtime guitarist. So this is really it's supposed to be a gospel song, but it's remarkably free of gospel. Shout together, right down here. Let us do our shout together, right down here. Let us shout together, right down here. Let us shout together, right down here. Good God.
Great stuff. And dancing was going on, jigging on chairs, all kinds of stuff. But I was distressed that the chat was disrupted by someone singing the praises of the Hurdygurdy, which is simply not allowed. So anyway, we'll leave that moment behind. But otherwise, great performance. So next we have Graham, and then we'll have Jan.
Okay.
Are you there?
Okay, I was muted again. I've muted myself twice now. Okay, Graham from Vancouver, and I'm going to do something unusual. I'm going to do a Canadian song. There you go. Not only is this a Canadian song, it's a song from British Columbia, the far west of Canada. Not only is it from British Columbia, but it's from the far west of British Columbia, a place called Vancouver Island. Vancouver Island is the biggest island off the west coast of North America. So you can imagine an island stretching from Anglesea down to Brighton. That's how big it is. This is a song from the 1920s. Refers to the struggle on Vancouver Island coal miners trying to establish a union in those days. It was collected by a guy called Phil Thomas from the singing of a fella called John Strachan from Union Bay on Vancouver Island. Mentions a number of places on Vancouver Island: Union Bay, Courtenay, Cumberland, and Bevan. There's a place called Bevan. If ever you're ever out this way, see if you can find this place called Bevan. All it is now is just a bunch of ramshackle foundations stuck in a forest. This is a song, as I said, and it requires playing a very unusual instrument, a very complex instrument known as a kazoo. Here you go. So here we go. This is a song, Are You From Bevan? They beckon to me, I'd like to see you. Tell me how be you, when those friends I'm longing to see. If you're from Union Bay or Courtenay or Cumberland, any place below that Bevan, second down. Are you from Bevan? I said from Bevan, 'cause I'm from Bevan too. It was back in 1912. Our gas committee was put on the shelf. First we walked out, then we were locked out, then by the foul we were all but knocked out. Our union miners faced guns and jail. Hundreds of us were held without bail. But by August 1914 our labours they were courting, but they blacklisted me. Are you from Devon? I said from Devon. Where those fields of stumps, they beckon to me. I'd like to see you. Tell me how be you, to those friends I'm longing to see. If you're from Union Bay or Courtenay or Cumberland, any place below that Bevan, second down. Are you from Bevan? I said from Bevan, 'cause I'm from Bevan too. Bevan, where those fields of stumps, they beckon to me. I'm glad to see you. Tell me how be you, and those friends I'm longing to see. If you're from Human Bay or Courtney or Cumberland, any place below that Bevan second dam. I said from Bevan, 'cause I'm from Bevan, you're from Bevan, we're from Bevan too.
Yay! Great stuff.
And you probably recognise the tune as well. That was also written in 1916.
Who did you say wrote the words, Graham?
It was from the singing of a guy called John Strachan, who lived in
You
the place.
said, yeah.
Yeah.
Not the famous Aberdonian John Strachan, presumably.
I don't know. He was just a logger from Union Bay on Vancouver. So I doubt it very much. And I say the tune was Are You From Dixie, which was popular at the same time. Other folk tunes used to use popular tunes of the day.
Yeah.
Great stuff, Graham. Thank you. And we're now over to Jan Ayres, and then I think I'll close the first half, and then we'll have parish notices, and then we'll have a break, and then we'll do it all again. So over to you, Jan.
Unmute. There we go.
Am I unmuted now?
You are now.
Oh, I got confused. I'm easily confused. Another September one. Come out, 'tis now September, the hunter's moon's begun, and through the wheat and stubble we hear the frequent gun. The leaves are turning yellow, oh dear, and fading into red, while the ripened bearded barley is hanging down his head. All among the barley, who would not be blithe, while the ripened bearded barley is smiling on the scythe. The wheat is like a rich man, all sleek and well-to-do. The oats are like a pack of girls, all thin and dancing too. The rye is like a miser, both sulky, lean and small, while the ripened bearded barley is monarch of them all. All among the barley, who would not be blithe, while the ripened bearded barley is smiling on the scythe. The spring is like a young maid that does not know her mind. The summer is a tyrant of most ungracious kind. The autumn is an old friend that pleases all he can, and brings the bearded barley to glad the heart of men. All among the barley, who would not be blithe, while the ripe and bearded barley is smiling on the scythe. Thank you.
Another cheery one, Jan. The first half has been virtually uninterrupted cheer, with the exception of Pal and a few others. So I'm going to reset things. Oh, something weird is happening with I'm hearing myself twice. Okay, now I'm not. That's good because I'm about to sing. If Caroline, would you mind muting everybody? Thanks. Yeah. Yes, not nearly enough misery today so far. So this is a song about homesickness. It's a poem by Violet Jacob, and it is set to music by Jim Reid, I think. Correct me if I got that wrong. And it's about a Scot in England not having been home for a long time, which goes for me as well at the moment. What news hae ye for me the day, roaring Norland wind? As ye come blowing frae the land that's never frae my mind. My feet they travel England, but I'm deeing for the north. My man, I saw the silver tides run up the Firth of Forth. Oh, wind, I ken them weel enough, and fine they fall and rise, but fain I'd see the creeping mist on yonder shore that lies, and tell me as ye pass them by, if saw ye on the way. My man, I saw man, I rocked the roving gulls that sail aboon the Tay. But saw ye Nathan lean wind afore ye come to Fife, for there's muckle lying yont the Tay that's mair to me nor life. My man, I swept the Angus braes that ye havena trod for years. O wind, forgie a hameless loon that canna see for tears. And far aboon the Angus straths I saw the wild geese flee, a lang, lang skein of beaten wings, with their heads towards the sea. And aye their crying voices trailed a hint them on the air. O wind, hae mercy, haud your wished, for I darna listen mair.
Beautiful, Amanda. Beautiful.
That was lovely.
Well sung, Margaret. Lovely.
Thank you very much. And so I've muted everybody. It's time for, please, brief parish notices because we have a lot of people still to get on this evening. So if you can put in additional information in the chat, please do so. But if you do have a parish notice, an announcement, for those who are not familiar with the term, then please unmute yourself and tell us what's happening.
I've got a short one, mainly for the people in Britain, although findable online. Tonight on BBC 4, that's TV, not Radio 4, there's a programme about Charles Causley. It's on at midnight. You'd be able to find it on the iPlayer if you're... Charles Causley was a Cornish poet whose poems make rather good folk songs when set by various people.
Thanks, Sheila.
Oh, thank you,
I've
Sheila.
got-
Yeah.
yeah, thanks, Sheila. I've got
And Jim Causley sings in that as well. I've seen the programme before.
All right.
Great stuff. Alan, Kate, I think you've got an
Yes.
announcement, and Lisa as well after Kate.
My announcement is that at King's Place on the 20th of September, Hugh Lupton, who's a wonderful storyteller of traditional tales, but he's very good at putting things together. He's doing something on, it's called, I've forgotten the exact title, it's something like Common Land, and it's on the 20th of September, and it's about John Clare, and I think it'd be really interesting, and they're having a few, I don't know if the spaces in the actual building, which they're starting to have already been booked, but there are still online places. I think it'll be well worth it. I'm hoping to get through. You have to book and register onto King's Place's sort of website and things. It's all a bit complicated. I think it'll be worth it though. 20th of September, and it's about 5 o'clock in the evening, and I hope that's enough information.
What did you say the website was? I didn't quite catch the name of the
Well,
website.
the venue is called King's Place, so I think the venue is something like, the website is something like kingsplace.org.uk or something like that. You'd find it by just Googling King's Place, I think.
Okay, thanks.
It's in, yeah.
We were just talking about John Clare
N1.
today. So.
N1.
Can I just say I've seen that as well as it happens, and that is absolutely brilliant.
It'll be phenomenal.
Really
Yeah.
well worth it.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Okay, thanks, Kate. Lisa, so you had your hand up?
Yes. For those who haven't heard me talk about it at every conceivable opportunity, between a 4-day extended weekend on October 2nd through 5th, we're having more than 20 thematic participatory Zoom sings at the Folklore of Greater Washington's annual weekend, The Getaway. And we have many, many thematic workshops, and quite a number of you will be co-hosting here. I'm hoping to make it global. And I'm just delighted that we're going to have people from all over. The full schedule is up. And Rich Galloway, who's here today, is going to put up the detailed information in the chat area for you.
I can see it there already, Lisa. So Rich has done his stuff. Great. Anybody else?
Very quickly, Faye Heald, who I think everyone, if you don't know her, look her up, she's brilliant. She's doing a album launch online this Friday at 8 o'clock. I'm just looking for a link. I think it will be here. She says it's only going to be about an hour, so it's definitely going to be worth tuning in. She's an amazing artist, and I'm very excited about the album. So.
Great.
Yeah, excellent.
Our first singers in the second half are going to be Eleanor and Sam Simmons, and after Eleanor and Sam, we'll have Alison Frosdick.
Are you going to sing first or me?
I'll sing first, yeah.
Okay.
Hi, folks. I put a chat about folk life. Enough about that. You can read the chat. Well, this is a song from North Wales, which I learned in school, but not quite the same as this. It involves beer from Nevin, Garuna Nevin. Davy, Davy, comes from Nevin, Hobberderry Dando, and he has got a little engine, can it? He do think so much about it, Jane, sweet Jane, that he is never go without it. Jane, Jane, come to the glen to sing the praise of Shanvach Foyne. Jane, Jane, come to the glen to sing the praise of Shanvach Foyne. Davy, Davy and Sailor Evan, Hobberderry Dando, caught a shark off the reach of Nevin, all they wanted was a pie dish, Jane, sweet Jane, for to cook that bit of sharkfish. Jane, Jane, come to the glen to sing the praise of Shanvach Foyne. Jane, Jane, come to the glen to sing the praise of Shanvach Foyne. One fine son of Davy, Davy, Hobberderry Dando, was play football for Pwllheli, Ganagetto, but the dirty sons of Cardiff, Jane, sweet Jane, they was kick him in the belly. Jane, Jane, come to the glen to sing the praise of Shanvach Foyne. Jane, Jane, come to the glen to sing the praise of Shanvach Foyne. As I was walking along the road to Nevin, Hobberderry Dando, I met an old woman who a brick was swallowing. Can I get any eto? I said to her, you'll soon be choking, Jane, sweet Jane. But if you do, why the water's handy. Jane, Jane, come to the glen to sing the praise of Shanbach Foin. Jane, Jane, come to the glen to sing the praise of Shanbach Foin. There's a beer that's brewed in heaven, Hobberderry Dando. This beer, it is both meat and drink, boys. Can I get it? When I drunk but a little skinful, Jane, sweet Jane. Then I was turning like a cartwheel. Jane, Jane, come to the glen to sing the praise of Shanbach Foin. Jane, Jane, come to the glen to sing the praise of Shanbach Foin. Not quite the same as what I learnt in school, because that was in Welsh.
Eleanor, what have you got for us?
Right, this is a song about the cotton mills, cotton mill girls. Worked in the cotton mills all my life. I ain't got nothing but a Barlow knife, and it's a hard time. Cotton mill girls, it's a hard time everywhere. It's a hard time. Cotton mill girls, it's a hard time. Cotton mill girls, it's a hard time. Cotton mill girls, it's a hard time everywhere. In 1915 I heard it said, go to cotton country and get ahead, and it's a hard time. Cotton mill girls, it's a hard time everywhere. It's a hard time. Cotton mill girls, it's a hard time. Cotton mill girls, it's a hard time. Cotton mill girls, it's a hard time everywhere. We all worked 14 hours a day for 14 cents of measly pay, and it's a hard time. Cotton mill girls, it's a hard time everywhere. It's a hard time. Cotton mill girls, it's a hard time. Cotton mill girls, it's a hard time. Cotton mill girls, it's a hard time everywhere. So when I die, don't bury me at all, just hang me up on the spinning room wall and pickle my bones in alcohol, 'cause it's a hard time everywhere. It's a hard time. Cotton mill girls, it's a hard time. Cotton mill girls, it's a hard time. Cotton mill girls, it's a hard time everywhere. Cotton mill girls.
Lovely.
It is a hard time too, not just for cotton mill girls, but yeah, pretty much everyone. So Alison, you're next, and then we'll have Dave Harbord.
Right. So I'm going to sing a version of Fair Maid Walking, collected from singing of Patience Basie, so which a project that Bob Askew was involved with. So I won't say any more. He's actually here, so perhaps you can put something up in the chat, or if you're interested, you can ask him. A fair maid walked all in her garden. A brisk young sailor she chanced to spy. He stepped up to her, thinking to view her. He said, fair maid, can you fancy me?
man of honor, a man of honor you seem to be. How can you impose on a poor young woman who is not fitted your servant to be? I don't impose on a poor young woman. A great regard, love, I have for you. I mean to marry you, make you my lady. For servants I have four to wait on you. I have a sweetheart all of my own, sir, and 7 long years he's been gone from me, and 7 more I will wait for him. If he's alive, he'll return to me. If it's 7 long years since he has left you, perhaps he is now dead or drowned, and 7 more I will wait for him. But if he's dead, he's in glory crowned. He took his hand out of his bosom, his fingers being both long and small, saying, I'm your young, poor and single sailor. I am returned for to marry you. If you're my young, poor and single sailor, show me the token of what you gave, saying, here's the ring that we broke between us. Soon as she saw it, then down she fell. He took her up into his arms, love. He gave her kisses by 1, 2, 3, saying, I'm your young, poor and single sailor. I am returned for to marry thee. So now this couple, they are got married. In wedlock's bands they now both are joined. I hope they'll live and enjoy each other. And that's the end of my sailor song.
Lovely.
Lovely.
Lovely, Alison. I don't know how you break a ring, really, between... Never mind, never mind. Dave Harbord is next, and after Dave, it will be Sheila Miller.
Hello?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah, hiya.
Yes.
Earlier on, people were talking about how in the USA or Australia, words don't have the same meaning as here. And it's wonderful that the word Trump in England means a fart. I can't think of a more appropriate word for the man. Anyway, we've had a lot of happy songs tonight, so this is a very sad effort. A tad, he came home from work tired. The boss had been driving him mad. The kids was all howling, the dog bit him too. His dinner was nothing but warmed over stew. Maybe 'twas then he's decided that up to the rooftop he'd go. He was about to jump off when the kids started howling below. Don't jump off the roof, Dad, you'll make an hole in the yard. Mother's just planted petunias, the weeding and seeding was hard. If you must end it all, Dad, won't you just give us a break? Just take a walk to the park, Dad, and there you can jump in the lake. Now Mother, she's heard a commotion. She's looked out to see what it was. That's where she saw him there perched on the ledge, ready to drop with the weight of a sledge. She's rushed outside and yelled, "Sweetheart, don't do this terrible deed." Then she's got down on her knees and so tearfully started to plead. Don't jump off the roof, Dad, you'll make an hole in the yard. Mother's just planted petunias, the weeding and seeding was hard. If you must end it all, Dad, won't you just give us a break? Just take a walk to the park, Dad, and there you can jump in the lake. And there you can jump in the lake.
I love that. Petunia. Okay, Sheila, you're next. And after Sheila, we'll have James Eagle.
I was waiting to be unmuted and then to be muted and then I wasn't. I've got some petunias growing on my windowsill as it happens. Yes, Powell sang one of the great songs about ghostly lovers. This is a different song about ghostly lovers. Quite a short ballad, you'll be relieved to hear. You're welcome, this may be too low, or not. You're welcome home again, said the young man to his dear. I've been waiting for you many a night and day. You're tired and you're cold, said the young man to his love. You will never again go away. I must go away. Sorry. I must go away, she said, when the little cock do crow, for here they will not let me stay. Oh, but if I had me wish, oh, my dearest dear, she said, this night would be never, never day. And oh, you little cock, oh, you handsome little cock, I pray you do not crow before day. and your wings will be made of the very beaten gold, and your comb of the silver so grey. But oh, this little cock, this handsome little cock, he crew loud a full hour too soon. It's time I must depart. Oh, my dearest dear, she said, for 'tis now the going down of the moon. Oh, but where is your bed? Oh, my dearest dear, he said, and where are your white holland sheets? And where are the maids? Oh, my darling dear, he said, that wait upon you whilst you are asleep. The clay, it is my bed, my dearest dear, she said. The shroud is my white holland sheet, and the worms and creeping things are my servants dear, she said, that wait upon me whilst I am asleep. I'm sorry, that was too low. Anyway.
Short ballad, Sheila, but a good one. Long ballads also welcome. So our next singer is going to be James Eagle, who is one of the prize winners in the Islington Folk Club Trad to Mad competition for August. Well done, James. We have quite a few prize winners in this group, actually. We look forward to hearing you in a second. And after you, it will be Bob Askew. That's odd. You look unmuted, but can't hear a thing. Oh no, I think might have an audio problem, unless it's just me.
I can hear him, but it's very faint.
Yeah, you are actually unmuted, but I think you've got an audio problem. I tell you what. Shall we just move on to Bob, and we'll come back to you, and hopefully you can sort yourself out in the meantime. So Bob, you're on.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
You can hear me. Hooray! I wanted to sing a ballad, but I think it's a bit late and you are short of time. I'm doing a very short song, so a very quick introduction. I am doing a talk on Robin Hood ballads, which I love, the weekend after next on Sunday for the Traditional Song Forum online, which anybody can get in here, I think. It was really wonderful hearing a Robin Hood ballad today. I almost never hear them. And the title of my talk is Why Does No One Sing Robin Hood Songs Nowadays? Because I think they're great. Anyway, I will sing a very short Robin Hood song collected from a man called Joe Breed in Southampton called Bold Robin Hood. Bold Robin Hood was a forester good, as ever chased deer in the merry greenwood, and the wild deer will follow, the wild deer will follow. Along came Little John with his courage so strong, he conquered all, hey ding dong, and the wild deer will follow, the wild deer will follow. For the bugle horn he echoed, the bugle horn he echoed, and the wild deer will follow, the wild deer will follow. There's none so bonny, blithe and gay as Mary Pride at the morning day, and the wild deer will follow, the wild deer will follow. To bold Robin Hood was a forester good, as ever shot deer in the merry green wood. The wild deer will follow, the wild deer will follow.
We never thought we'd have two Robin Hood ballads in one evening. Incredible.
It's wonderful, wonderful. Sing some more next week, everyone.
No.
Okay, so hopefully we now have James, and if we do, it will be James followed by David Diamond. Are you there, James? Ah, that's very odd. You're definitely unmuted now, as far as I can see. No. Ah. All right. Let's. Yeah. We'll try. We'll maybe come back to you later, but leave it for a bit. So in that case, it is David Diamond, followed by Kathy Dent, and James, who's doing the muting now, is taking over from Caroline. I think we'll just have to carry on mute. I think you've overly muted and muted yourself permanently. I don't know. Anyway, David, then Kathy.
I have two favourite songs about days of the week, and one of them's already been sung this evening. So here's the other one. 'Twas on a Monday morning, oh, the rain it was a-raining. My love, she come to me and said, when shall you and I be wed? For I have bought a double bed, and mother is complaining. And all the while the rain it was a-raining. 'Twas on a Tuesday morning, oh. I've forgotten what it was doing. I think it was snow. 'Twas on a Tuesday morning, oh, the snow it was a-something. My love still hadn't gone away, so I did ask her mistress, pray, what was it you said yesterday? I really wasn't listening, and all the while the snow it was a-glistening. 'Twas on a Wednesday morning, oh, the hail it was a-hailing. My love, she made a quick retort. She said, to cut a story short, I bought a bed the double sort. Your hearing must be failing, and all the while the hail it was a-hailing. 'Twas on a Thursday morning, oh, the day was not a hot one. I said, you've bought a double bed. Well, that was what I thought you said. You must be going off your head, 'cause I've already got one. And all the while the day was not a hot one. 'Twas on a Friday morning, oh. Nobody spoke. 'Twas on a Saturday morning, oh. The thunder, it was frightening. I shouted so that I'd be heard. Oh, let us marry on the 3rd. But did she answer? Not one word. for she'd been struck by lightning. And after that, the weather started brightening.
One of the things about Day of the Week songs is you kind of know when they're going to come to an end. So Friday was a bit of a surprise, I have to say. Right. Next we have Kathy Dent, followed by Lisa Null.
Okay, very, very old ballad. Nobody dies in it. It's quite funny and there's lots you can join in with. And I've posted relevant information in the chat. Young Hindhorn to the king has gone, hallelujah, and a whole land. He fell in love with the king's daughter Jane, with a hey down, hey diddle down he. She given him a gay gold ring, hallelujah, and a whole land. 3 bright diamonds set therein, with a hey down, hey diddle down he. If this ring goes pale and blue, hallelujah, and a whole land, then my love it is lost to you, with a hey down, hey diddle down he. So he's hoisted his sail and he's gone to sea, hallelujah, and a whole land. For 7 long years to a far country, with a hey down, hey diddle down he. One day he looked that ring upon, hallelujah, and a whole land. It grew pale and it grew wan, with a hey down, hey diddle down he. So he sailed till he's come to his own land, hallelujah, and a whole land. There he has met an old beggar man, with a hey down, hey diddle down he. What news, come tell to me, hallelujah, and a whole land. No news save our Queen's wedding day, with a hey down, hey diddle down he. Will you give me your old brown hat, hallelujah, and a whole land. I'll give you my gold laced hat, with a hey down, hey diddle down he. Will you give me your begging weeds, hallelujah, and a whole land. I'll give you my good grey steed, with a hey down, hey diddle down he. Now the old beggar man's gone dress a fine, hallelujah, and a whole land. While a young hindhorn, like an old beggar man, with a hey down, hey diddle down he. Now he's walked till he's come to the king's gate, hallelujah, and a whole land. He's begged for beer, he's begged for meat, with a hey down, hey diddle down he. He's begged for the sake of St. Peter and Paul, hallelujah, and a whole land. He's begged for the sake of the young hindhorn, with a hey down, hey diddle down he. Well, the bride, she came running down the stair, hallelujah, and a whole land, with the combs of the red gold shining in her hair, with a hey down, hey diddle down he. She's given to him a glass of wine, hallelujah, and a whole lowland. It's all for the sake of the old beggar man with a hey down, hey diddle downy. Now he has drunken all the wine, hey lillaloo and a whole lowland. Into the glass he has dropped the ring with the hey down, hey diddle downy. How came you this by sea or land? Hey lillaloo and a whole lowland. Or got ye it from a dead man's hand with a hey down, hey diddle downy. I neither got it by sea or land, hey lillaloo and a whole lowland. You gave me it from your own right hand with a hey down, hey diddle downy. Now the bridegroom he came down the stair, hey lillaloo and a whole lowland. But neither bride nor beggar was there with a hey down, hey diddle downy. Well, the bridegroom he had a first to wed, hey lillaloo and a whole lowland. But young Hindhorn he had a first to the bed with a hey down, hey diddle downy. Young Hindhorn.
That's the first time I've heard Hindhorn, Kathy. Thanks for that.
Goodness.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
Yeah, anyway.
When Maddie Pryor does it, there's a fabulous bit when the bride comes running down the stair and there's this little trill on the guitar in the background going. Fabulous.
There is a cowboy version of Hindhorn.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, have I heard that? I'm not sure I've heard that one.
No, I've never heard
You can
that.
do that for us next time, David, hopefully. You know it. Okay, so Lisa Null is next, and then we're going to try again with James. Third time lucky. First, we'll have Lisa.
Okay, this song is in memory of the Molly Maguires, who are a very militant group of people rebelling against bad mind. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. A group of group of very militant miners, most of whom were Irish and had taken their name from Irish militants in Ireland, who were rebelling against bad conditions in the anthracite coal mines in the late 19th century. And they may or may not have been guilty of what they were accused of, which was being violent and causing death within the mines, but they were executed, 10 of them, on June 21st, 1877. And they've gone on and become, you can still break out into fist fights late at night around the Scranton area where I lived, or in the anthracite region, about whether you thought they were guilty or not. But anyway, this wonderful song came out about them, and I sing it. Take it for what it is. When the wind blows wild at night and the breakers melancholy. I have to lower it. When the wind blows wild at night and the breakers melancholy. If you stand in the dark with your ear to the wind, you can hear the sons of Molly. Down in the dark of the old mine shaft, you can hear the smoke and the fire, all the whispering low in the mines below. 'Tis the ghost of Molly Maguire. Let me tell you, boys, Mickey Doyle is my name, and I come from Carbon County. And I shot the boss of the Lansford mine. My soul is up for bounty. But I will die with my head held high, for I fought for those men below. The men who slave and swear and die down in that dark hellhole. Let me tell you, boys, every toil is my name. I'm hanging in the morning. I shot John Jones for stealing my bones. I curse the sound of morning. But I will die with my head held high, for I've fought for those men below. The men who slave and sweat and die down in that dark hellhole. Let me tell you, boys, Alex Campbell is my name. I'm no pistol did I fire. Yet I will fall from the gallows wall just for being a Molly Maguire. But I will die with my head held high, for I fought for the men below. For the men who slaved and fought and died down in that black hell hole. When the wind blows wild at night in the breaker melancholy, if you stand in your dark with the ear to the wind, you can hear the ghosts of Molly. Deep in the dark of the old mine shaft, you can smell the smoke and the fire, and the whispering low in the mines below is the sons of Molly Maguire.
Yeah, well sung. Good song.
Beautifully done, Lisa. Yeah, great stuff. James is going. We're going to fingers crossed for James, who has hopefully sorted out his.
Have I though? Can you hear me?
Yay!
Hey!
Yay!
God knows what that was
So
about.
after James, it will be Rich Galloway, please.
Okay. I wasn't sure what to sing tonight, so I had a look on the internet for inspiration, and it turns out it's Peter Bellamy's birthday today. It would have been 76. So here's one of Peter Bellamy's.
Oh God, yes, it's the 8th. Ah.
So here's one of Peter Bellamy's Kipling
Peter,
treatments.
wherever you are.
You can join in on this one. Old Horn to all Atlantic said, oh hey, oh to me, oh. Now where did Frankie learn his trade? For he ran me down with a 3-reef mainsail all around the Horn. Atlantic answered, not from me, oh hey, oh to me, oh. You'd better ask the cold North Sea, for he ran me down under all plain canvas all around the Horn. The North Sea answered, he's my man, oh hey, oh to me, oh. For he came to me when he began. Here's Frankie Drake in an open coaster all around the sands. I caught him young and I used him sore, oh hey, oh to me, oh. So you never shall startle Frankie more, without capsizing earth and her waters all around the sands. I did not favour him at all, oh hey, oh to me, oh. I made him pull and I made him haul, and stand his trick with the common sailors all around the sands. I froze him stiff and I fogged him blind, oh hey, oh to me, oh. And I kicked him home his road to find, by what he could see in a 3-day snowstorm all around the sands. I learned him his trade of winter's nights, oh hey, oh to me, oh. Twixt Mardyke Fort and Dunkirk light on a 5-knot tide, with the forts a-firing all around the sands. Before his beard began to shoot, oh hey, oh to me, oh. I showed him the length of the Spaniard's foot, and I reckon he clapped the boot on it later all around the sands. If there's a risk that you can make, oh hey, oh to me, oh, that's worse than he was used to take nigh every week in the way of his business all around the sands. If there's a trick that you can try, oh hey, oh to me, oh, that he hasn't met in times gone by, not once, not twice, but 10 times over, all around the sands. If you can teach him aught that's new, oh hey, oh to me, oh, I'll give you Bruges and Newport too, and the 10 tall churches that stand between them all around the sands. So storm along, my gallant captains, all around the Horn.
Yay. Good one. Oh, good one, Jake.
Thanks for the technology.
Good to finally hear you this evening. Great. So Rich is next, and then Racker Donnelly.
Okay. I was going to sing a Robin Hood ballad, probably one Bob hasn't heard, but given that it's a long ballad, I think I better switch to something else. I'm a rover, seldom sober. I'm a rover of high degree. It's when I'm drinking, I'm always thinking how to gain my love's company. Now though the night be as dark as dungeon, never a star nor a candlelight, I must be guided without a stumble into the arms of my own true love. I'm a rover, seldom sober. I'm a rover of high degree. It's when I'm drinking, I'm always thinking how to gain my love's company. And when he come to his true love's dwelling, he knelt so gently upon a stone, and through the window he whispers lowly, does my true love lie alone? I'm a rover, seldom sober. I'm a rover of high degree. It's when I'm drinking, I'm always thinking how to gain my love's company. She lifted her head from her down white pillow. She lifted the blankets from off her breast, and through the window she answers slowly, who's that disturbing me at my night's rest? I'm a rover, seldom sober. I'm a rover of high degree. It's when I'm drinking, I'm always thinking how to gain my love's company. 'Tis I, your own true lover. Open the door, love, and let me in. For I am wet, love, and I am weary, and I am wet, love, unto the skin. For I'm a rover, seldom sober. I'm a rover of high degree. So when I'm drinking, I'm always thinking how to gain my love's company. She raised herself up with the greatest of pleasure. She raised herself up and she let him in. And all night long they rolled in each other's arms until the long night was past and gone. I'm a rover, seldom sober. I'm a rover of high degree. It's when I'm drinking, I'm always thinking how to gain my love's company. And when the long night was past and over, and when the small cocks began to crow, he shook her hand, aye, they kissed and parted. He saddled and mounted, and away did go. I'm a rover, seldom sober. I'm a rover of high degree. It's when I'm drinking, I'm always thinking how to gain my love's company.
Shook hands, kissed him.
Thanks, Rich. I seldom sober. It's like most of us, isn't it? So anyway,
Speak for yourself.
Racker Donnelly's our next performer. After Racker, Kate Portal, are you able to give us a song after Racker? I'm not sure if you're there or not.
Yes, I can.
Yes, brilliant stuff. Okay, so over to you, Racker. Can't hear you.
You hear me now?
Yes.
Right, okay. I'm at home in Bray, which is not in Buckinghamshire, it's in County Wicklow. And 5 miles north is my former home of Sandy Cove. And Sandy Cove is a wonderful place, and I don't have time to go on about it. But here's a little tribute to our former home in Sandy Cove, which is a kind of suburb of Dunleary, but a beautiful place with much history and all, lots of stuff. And there's a phrase I use in it, owl ones, and this is a very respectful term in Ireland for ladies of a certain age. And ladies who have not reached that age are known as mots. So you'll find the words owl ones and mots, and these are terms of great praise. And there's a boring list of names in the middle of it, and that's a list of pubs and restaurants that the owl ones remember enjoying. Okay. Sweet Sandy Cove's a handy cove for mammies and little babbies, and ne'er-do wells and bardo bells and flabbies. When I say mammies now, mammies embraces daddies, oh yes, the way man embraces woman and whiskey paddies. I'm glad that's clear. I hope that's clear. As they strand on a sunny day, the sun smiling in pure amazement over Scotsman's Bay. Our grand little inlet sparkling like Ballygowan, and owl ones up in the Basque region, sitting down, snoozing and snug and free from fret and sorrow, remembering Cavestons, Juggies Well, South Bank, Fitzgerald's and Brasserie Namara. That Babby Canute in the birthday suit is in dire distress, caught between firm, warm world as experienced up to press on this cold, bold, splashy, who knows what, under the flashy eyes of the Mediterranean mott. Make up your little mind, cries Maria del Pilar. Oh, I wish I was in a tapas bar. Everyone else happy as Larry, happy to tarry every kid in mid-lick of ice cream off a stick down the little red lane. What happened the rain? The shabby, the chic, bum cheek to bum cheek, all one under the sun. Then up pops a Scooby-Doo, so back quack quack. I never seen him go in, says an old one. Janie Mac, I'm not one to sneer, but what do they think they're up to in the kinky gear, peeking and poking around in slithery nooks and crannies? Well, I don't know what Father Freud would say, but I'm glad I'm not one of their grannies. But Sandy Cove, why that name? Because the cove is sandy. What's your game? No game. Sandy Cove is a manky, Manglo-Saxon, garboiled echo of the good old Gaelic, Sonny Go, which in true translation shows the randy unsandy secret of Sandy Cove. It means bay of bliss, cleft of joy, inlet of ecstasy, lucky alcove. For this is Ireland's happy, slappy, snappy, sappy, and sweet as sugar, Candy Cove. How I love Sandy Cove. There you go.
Hurrah!
Hurrah.
Oh.
Commissioned by the Irish Tourist Board, I guess, or the Sandy Cove Tourist Board. Okay, what's happening next? What's happening next is Kate Portal, and Kate will be followed by Cleo.
Okay. So, Ali, ready with it? Okay. Yeah. So, this song isn't a folk song. You will recognise the tune, and it's the kind of thing that happens to a certain kind of person on their daily rounds when they can get out more than we can at the minute. The words are by a friend of mine called Kirsten Hearn. So, I have often tapped down this street before, though the pavement's always been beneath my feet before. But the pavement's flat, I wonder where I'm at. Is it just on this street where I tap? Are there paving stones in the heart of town, just as mobile as the ones here in this part of town? Must I stamp and jump over every bump? Is it just on this street where I tap? But oh, the towering feeling, just to know the roadworks are near, and that overpowering feeling that somehow soon towards a lamppost I will veer. People stop and stare, how they bother me, as they grab and snatch. I wish that they would let me be. But now here am I, face turned toward the sky. Is it just in this street where I tap?
Yay!
Oh yeah, great song, Kate. Kind of a unique perspective in the folk
I can certainly.
genre. Yeah. Brilliant. Next we have Cleo, Cleo Knopf, who is joining us, I think, for the first time. So welcome, Cleo, and Cleo will be followed by Jim Lucas.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, good. Oh, so I made up this song about recent events. Oh, I'm from New York. I'm in New York City right now. So you can hear me, right? Lost in that midnight uniform blue sky, I heard a new name, and the blood was in his eye. How many more don't do it? How many more can't take it? Die in the undeclared war. How many more Brianna? How many more Alessandra? Heaven, heaven, heaven has spoken. I took a walk to breathe in the soul of the street, when a cry rose up my legs, where a body fell beneath my feet. How many more don't do it? How many more can't take it? Die in the undeclared war. How many more? Oh, child's hand into a good man's herd. How many more? His mama drove him there. How many more with a rifle in his 17-year-old hands? How many more he shot protesters? How many more he was joining the murdering gang? Heaven, heaven, heaven won't take it no more. We got to take down the whole injustice system to the ground, just to stop the rich man from cutting good people down. How many more don't do it? How many more can't take it? Dying the undeclared war on the poor. How many more Emmett Till? How many more George Floyd? Heaven, heaven has spoken.
Thank you for joining us, Cleo, and for bringing that. We haven't had much politics this evening, I don't think, but that got us right bang up to date, so thank you. So Jim Lucas is our next singer, followed by Rory. I am not going to get everyone on, I'm afraid, so we will have a few people who joined late. I'm unfortunately not able to sing this evening, but hopefully we'll get you on another time. In the meantime, it's over to Jim.
Okay.
Can't hear you, Jim. You're on mute. You're still on mute?
Well, I unmuted myself and then it muted me again. This happens.
Yeah, you have to be, yeah, people are not always as quick on the mute button as you are. So.
Okay, anyway, I think I'll do this one. Oh, if my voice will serve me. A pretty tale to you I'll tell, if to hear me yous are willing. 'Twas in yon house behind yon hill, where I had lately been distilling. I slung a keg upon me back, I started off at daylight coolly. Good customers I did not lack, for I sold it all in Ballyhooly. I thought it wiser to delay me homeward way for fear of stealers. So in that way I spent the day, joining with the whiskey dealers. Then as the shades of night come on, and I had got me money duly, I bid farewell to all were there, and I started home from Ballyhooly. I think I'm going to take it down. My heart being light with now. No, I think I've lost the tune if I move it. Me heart been light with mountain dew that I had brewed amongst the heather. Well, on my way I chanced to spy a lad and lassie walk together. Her neck was like the mount of snow, her cheeks like roses, buds come newly. She'd a voice like music, soft and low. Oh, she was a flower of Ballyhooly. Well, this young man soon left her side, for it was afraid of me that he was. But still the lassie did not hide, for it was in love with me that she was. Up beside her I soon came, says I, young maid, I love you truly, and if your parents give consent, will you be me bride in Ballyhooly? Well, her rosy cheeks, they grew more red all in the time that we was talking. But still she hung her little head and viewed the ground where we were walking. Says she, young man, if you're content to say this day you love me truly, well then, if my parents give consent, I'll be your bride in Ballyhooly. Oh, I asked her name, she said was James, she said her second name was Dooley. And so I asked her when we'd wed, she said the sooner wed the better. So I went and asked her parents glad if they were content to let me get her. They said they were, they wished us luck. We started off for Father Cooley's, and at the hour of 12 o'clock we tied the knot in Ballyhooly. Now the wedding that we had that day, people come in uninvited. The piper played the red-haired boy, Jane she sang and I recited. The poaching followed, my throat. The poaching flowed like water coming from a spring that's just made newly. And no lighter heart could there be found than mine that night in Ballyhooly. Oh, the wedding presents that we got, none of them was mean nor shabby. The auntie brought a washing pot and made a wee dress for the babby. Invitations then went round to friends that we had just made newly, and in that way we gaily spent our honeymoon in Ballyhooly. Now it's 14 years since first we met, and yet in every way we're thriving. Me Jane, she is a dandy yet, though down the hill of life she's driving. Our family has increased in store, 14 daughters, all unruly. Oh, bonny Jane, she is my queen, and I am the king of Ballyhooly.
That's got some great rhymes and some great lyrics. It was in love with me that she was it? This was great. Okay, so Riri's our next singer, and then it will be Tom Reed.
Okay, hear me all right?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, right, a Scottish version of Lady Franklin's Lament. 'Twas homeward bound one night on the deep, slung in my hammock I fell asleep. I dreamed a dream and I thought it true, concerning Franklin and his gallant crew. As we drew near to the Humber shore, I heard a female she did implore. She wept aloud and she seemed to say, alas, my Franklin is so long away. 'Tis a long time now since two ships of fame did bear my husband across the main, with 100 seamen with courage stout, all for to find the Northwest Passage out. Her mind, it seemed, in sad distress, she cried aloud, I can take no rest. 10,000 pounds I would freely give to know on earth that my Franklin lives. There's Captain Austin of Scarborough Town, and Captain Penny of high renown. There's Captain Ross, and oh, many more have long been searching the Arctic shore. They sailed east and they sailed west, round Greenland's coast that they knew the best. In their ships on mountains of ice was drove, the cruel hardships these men did brave. In Baffin's Bay, where the whalefish blow, the fate of Franklin no man may know, leaving many a wife and a child to mourn. They never know when they will return. My sad forebodings, they give me pain. For long lost Franklin I'd cross the main. Likewise the fate of so many before, who left their homes to return no more. Lady Franklin's Lament.
Beautiful. Not heard that version before. Hey.
No, that's a new version for me as well. Thanks for bringing that. Okay, so it is now coming up to 11 o'clock and Tom Reed is therefore about to close the evening for us. I'm sorry for the people who can't get on this evening. Hopefully you get on another time. And please come back. We've had more than 51 people in the meeting in the club at one time. I've been working too hard in the club at one time this evening. Tom, please close this great evening.
Long song, but it's gone too late. I changed my mind at the last second. Lay me down where the sky meets the meadow. The mountain looks over the pines, where the morning sun casts a long shadow. I will sleep till the end of all time. Lay me down, though your hearted be weary, to the sound of a lonesome bird call. When I come to the end of my journey, like the leaves I must wither and fall. Lay me down by a bend in the river, where the white swans come dancing at dawn, where the stars go on burning forever, and the wild wind will sing me a song. Come and visit my grave some tomorrow. If your burden gets too much to bear, tell me all your troubles and sorrows. In your memories I will be there. Lay me down where the sky meets the meadow, and the mountain looks over the pines, where the morning sun casts a long shadow. I will sleep till the end of all time.
Lovely song.
What a lovely song to end the evening, Tom. Just sending us off.
Fabulous, wonderful singing.
Yeah.
You were all tremendous.
Thank you, Mac.
Wonderful.
What a
Till next
fabulous
week, Matt.
evening. A fabulous evening. Thank you all so much for being here, for being
Thank you,
part
Amanda.
of it.
Amanda.
Thank you.
Amanda.
James and Caroline.
Caroline and James as well.
Yes,
for
and James
And Caroline and James,
All
yes,
three
thank you
of
very
you.
much.
See you soon.
Thanks
Good night,
all.
everybody.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night. Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Everybody. Good night.
Hope to see you all next week.
Good night. See you next week.
Yeah, next week.
Fabulous.
Wonderful. Thank you.
See you, mate.
Thank you.
See you, Lisa.
Good night.
Bye all.